Okay, so sometimes you start your life looking at a few atoms or just a few molecules, listen to their music, and you end up in the vast expanse of the cosmos. Or you could end up in an operation theater where you are listening to the silent music of a dying patient. So my life has been this journey, and I would like to share with you today this journey where I have looked into the vibrations and simple mathematical pattern of those vibrations, which has taken me to a journey from 2 nanometer, that is billionth of a meter, to 2 meters or 1.5 meters of my height, and to 20 billion meters, which is outside this galaxy or outside this solar system, where we took the materials that brought to Earth by NASA, and we checked the vibrations there, and we found some self-similarity. Nearly 20 years back, when I was a PhD student, I felt like we are not doing the science in the way we should be doing it. We are pumping, hitting hard to the material I want to study, and it is screaming, and I hit harder. It is louder, it's screaming louder. Is it the way to understand the language? It is way to converse with nature? I felt this is punishment, this is torture. This is not the way we should be doing science. But I couldn't do anything. But when I became a faculty, I got independent position in Japan. I started building machines so that I could listen to nature in the way I want to hear. And that should be very, very different. How it will be different? So, step-by-step walking. What is a sequential processing? What is that? We have a philosophy that we believe that whatever be the complexity of the information, it could be written on a line, 01, 01, 01, 01, yes or no. No, I said it will be vertical, within and above. And it should be geometric shapes, rhythms, and music. We should not be just looking at how it is expressing at a single temporal domain. So you can see here is a neuron cell that we extracted from the brain, and it's a special probe that we created. So I started creating new type of machines so that I strongly believed that if I talk to you using sound, you may not be speaking in sound. You can speak with light, you can speak with many different energy forms, many different expressions. So a simple nanomaterial, when I'm pumping it at, say, at a hertz or milliseconds, it could be speaking in all the dimensions of times at a time. So picture could be at all the dimensions dancing together. And if you look at one snapshot, you lose the entirety of the system. So when we measured using this probe, we found this music. And you see there are three peaks, then 3 peaks again, and then 3 peaks again. So that is called triplet or triplet. Look at this pattern, because we were working on a single protein molecule when it dances. Then we worked with neuron cells, which is considered as the fundamental consciousness unit of our brain. And then we will go scale after scale, scale after scale, and we will see similar type of vibrations, triplet of triplet. So we saw this deep inside the neuron cell. We found there are nanowires, and we found the vibrations over there also. So let's understand that why I'm asking for a new type of language. So proteins, we looked at it, that it can generate continuous waveform like this, and continuous waveform you can write on a sphere, as if you are walking all along the diameter or perimeter of the circle. If you have another clock inside you, then you could have some waveform in between, and you could have one big sphere and a small sphere there. And then you could have the third clock, and you have another waveform. So it's a clock inside a clock inside a clock, and you could represent with a set of spheres. So not 0 and 1 anymore. You have a crystal of time. So it could be a burst of time, the signals, and it could be continuous waveform. So this is the measurement from single protein molecules. This is the measurement you can get from single microtubule, a nanowire made of proteins, nanowires, and we extracted cells from the brain, part of the brain. Everywhere we found this kind of triplet of triplet. Kilohertz, megahertz, and gigahertz means 1,000 times faster than the way we are making conversation right now. So 50 milliseconds is a time when your conscious thought picks up what I am saying. And this is 1,000 times faster, 1 million times faster, 1 billion times faster. But you should not be looking at million times faster or billion times faster or trillion times faster. You have to look at everywhere, because this whole set of spheres is like an automaton. When it rotates, the clock rotates. How you feed energy is up to you. We can replace the protein with this kind of spherical engine, and it can run, and it can spring to life. So this is crystal of time. So protein sings if you force it to dance, and it dances if you play music. And I will show it to you. So this is quantum tunneling imaging. Quantum tunneling is a quantum technology by which, suppose I'm standing here, and this big red circle is there, and something is on the top. So some carriers can tunnel through me and get some of my properties, which is exactly we did. And different frequencies you see, we are applying it to play the music, and its dances are captured. It's few nanometer, you can see 4 nanometer only. We go little scale up, and we inside the neuron, we go and we see the vibration of the string. And then again we play the music, dance is there. So with different music, it dances differently. So we imaged it live. So if you play music, there is a dance. If you play dance, if you force it to dance, it will play music. So it's like together. Nothing is separate. So universe is a grand resonance chain running an automaton, and we are a tiny part of it. So in 2014, we found that if we take neuron, microtubule, proteins, wherever we go, everywhere we are finding triplet of triplets. The kind of thing I told you, 9 clocks in 3 groups. And they are vibrating together. Why? In 2020, one of my friend, now he's my friend, he contacted me from US and told that he touched the probe on his forehead, and you can see there is a triplet of triplet on his head. It shocked me. It changed my life forever. I felt what we were seeing at 1 nanometer, even if we go billion times faster, billion times higher scale, I see the same triplet of triplet. What is that? So basically, we are saying that there are 3 bands, 3 types of frequencies. Imagine 3 tuning forks. They are at a different frequency domains. And there is a gap. So you see, proteins don't make big noises. For the 100 years, people used to believe, before our work, that it plays noise like sound everywhere. No, proteins don't. They get silent. Those who know, those who have mastered the engineering of silence, they have mastered the engineering of language of nature. So silence is much more important. And you see how protein goes to silence mode. And it speaks when necessary, when there is a demand for mathematical symmetry. Okay? So it can interact with others, and it can break its symmetry and let the event unfold. So what we are saying now? We are saying that, suppose I'm talking to you in milliseconds, hundreds of milliseconds and seconds. One neuron inside my brain is firing tick, 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 milliseconds. Microtubule inside that, firing nanosecond, tick, 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 tick. Inside if I go, and protein is vibrating tick, 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 all triplet of triplet. And they are connected by this, and they form a resonance chain. So we can look at a whole human body as if from the atomic scale to the largest scale, everything is part of an integrated clock architecture. And we can replace with a sphere. I told you how to do that. You take a waveform and convert it into a sphere. So nested spheres, if I do, then whole human brain we can simulate. So every single part of me is playing a music. And there is a music, inside that there is a music, inside that there is a music. And everything is interconnected together. So this clock architecture can represent an alternative to me, my avatar. So human brain, so far, for the last 150 years, 170 years, was that it was made of neuron and a circuit of neuron, a very advanced computer. For us, it is not a computer. It's life form. It's living system where we don't leave out any component of yours, not your skin, no component. Somebody asked me yesterday, is it your heart that is important? It is your brain or it is other component? I said, we don't care how you look like. Because that protein taught me that how you look like, it doesn't matter. How you dance matters. How you dance with music matters a lot. But how you dance with music and keep your invariance as numbers or geometric shapes, that's the truth. So, invention of duodecanogram. By this time, I started playing with the human mind. So different cognitive experience. We gave them the problem. We played music. So this is Ravana's Shiva Stotra. 8 people are there. All their brains are synchronized. So they cannot see each other. The room is dark silence. And the burst you are seeing over here is the synchronization. Not synchronization by talking. It's 1,000 times faster, million times faster, billion times faster. So you don't see the humans, but when music is played, you are able to synchronize even though you don't see the people. So there were EEG machine, megahertz, kilohertz, and higher gigahertz, where neuroscience doesn't exist. So we played the music and we found that you do synchronize with other humans. So that means I started with protein, I go to 8 humans, 12 humans, and we discovered something very unique, that information is not 0 and 1 and the facts that you have. There are many geometric shapes or numbers that would represent your emotion and cognition. Now let's go to operation theater. So this is me working in Bhopal in the operation theater, and you see my vibration, and the person undergoing surgery, if you see his vibration, you will find a very unique kind of burst that is coming out. And this is the burst, megahertz burst. It is not part of the neuroscience that was conventional. So we found it in the single microtubule, and we also found it in the operation theater when a person undergoes anesthesia. And we found all these bursts are there. So let's watch this video. So in an operation theater, when you are undergoing operation, so your B's value or EEG value goes down, and then your operation is carried out, and then you are bring back to life. But we found your consciousness stops here and slowly spreads all over the brain. And you start awaken after the operation from one part of the brain, and finally, this is your forehead, this circular region is the last one. So your doctor may be asking, you are awake, but not for us. You are awake for modern machinery, modern concept of consciousness, but not for us. Much later, this part becomes conscious. So conscious triplet-like vibration that you see on the top, then we saw everywhere. The final part is in the dark, cold expanse of the universe. So 4.5 billion years ago, there were some, the asteroid belt in our solar system. So a small molecules or meteorites come to Earth. They take out the molecules from those samples, and we studied those molecules, looked at their vibrations. And look what, we found triplet over there. And it could be an accident that a triplet we are getting in one type of molecules. So what we did is we took the molecules created by others, did theoretical simulations, did FTIR, Fourier transform experiment to understand what are the vibrations and groupings. We again found triplet. And this is the molecular structures. If you look at it, it's a vast spherical molecules that you can observe inside this kind of system. So Now I come to the final part of my talk. Why triplet or triplet? So if I ask a kid to do a little math, in the horizontal axis, suppose a kid is given to create this universe. He knows nothing, no physics, no mathematics, no chemistry, anything. What he has to do is he is given a clock or these spheres and he has to arrange it. How will he do that? So if this is a 6 clocks, 2 into 3 and 3 into 2. So it could be a big clock and you put 3 in each of them, or you can take 2 clocks, 2 clocks, 2 clocks. So this is LCM and HCM that you do as a kid at the age of 8 and 9. So I do this mathematics, and I calculate how many ways you can arrange. And then we rotate it for 400,000. So let's see how does it look like. So these prime symmetries, symmetry of the integers, make a beautiful temple-like architecture. So this is the mathematical core, where you can find that it looks like a fractal. And you can walk through this surface to find the symmetry of the primes, how the symmetries break. So this beautiful mathematical structure became the core. I built computer on it. I built artificial brain based on this. And everywhere, because we should not be looking at dances or the music. We should look at the numbers, primes or other theirs. Because in the human brain, if I look at it, 31 knot bundles in my spinal cord. I have 7 layers of cortical columns. For 47 broadband regions, primes are everywhere, wherever the biological structures I go through. So we can find that this mathematical structure holds all possible symmetries. So if we zoom a particular part of it, we will always find triplet or triplet. So you don't need to know. If you take random set of clocks and you start, it's ordered from randomness, not just the order from chaos. And I spent my life looking at triplet of triplet. So I wanted to know, is it only symmetry in the universe that is governing the universe? No. So what we found is that triplet of triplet is the number 1 there. 5 into 11 is the second statistically, and there are more others. So how many of you would like to spend their whole life spending for more? So I had the 20-year journey with triplet of triplet, and all these 51s are yet to come. So I end my talk with this, that don't get into the illusions of what you see and what you feel and sense. Follow the geometric shapes made of rhythms and count primes, because primes don't lie, and geometric shapes don't lie. They don't have any human bias. Thank you.